Hello, my friends. Welcome back to our discussion. I am Somnath, and you are watching ABAP on Cloud RESTful Application Programming Model, Episode 6, and we are dealing with unmanaged scenario. So, in this discussion, creating this overall session and content, it was really exciting for me, to share with you all my experience about this topic. So I'm really keen to know from your end now how you feel this content. Was it useful, beneficial? Was it good enough to follow step by step process, whatever I have mentioned? Any challenges you faced, etc. So because your feedback, your support, your share, these are the things which really needed to make this channel successful. So I believe I will get support so that I can, keep preparing the contents for you. And whoever supported already by subscribing my channel, thanks for your subscription. And whoever yet not done about the same, kindly subscribe this channel and set the bell icon. As you know that to get intimation for the future releases, you need to do that so that you should not miss out any notifications. So in this current discussion, we'll be covering booking instance creation. And last episode, I already gave this as an assignment. So I believe you already tried the same to accomplish. If you have done already, very congratulations to you all for the successful achievement of creating this booking instance by your own. Fantastic job, well done. And if, of course, you deserve a clap for that. And whoever not done yet because of some unknown reasons like maybe bandwidth or over the weekdays some other responsibilities, I can understand. You can just try once over the weekend, and also refer to this discussion in case you get stuck somewhere and you would like to refer some content. This is the material you can refer, of course, to create the booking information. Okay, so a lot of talk. So let's start the discussion now. So we created this travel instance last time. If I just go over here, I can see the booking number that is missing, and today we are going to add this CRUD capabilities. So it will not work definitely because we need to add our own logic, custom logic. So for that I told you have to use CBA booking, which is a create based on association. And you see the association underscore booking I'm using from my header, which is a travel, correct? So let's go into this first and see what's there. Okay, before that, you see like I can just look at what are the things coming entity CBA, assigning field symbol that I'm going to put something like say FS booking, sorry, booking create, right? So let's say this is my field symbol name, closing the loop. Okay, so that's one thing. So let's activate this code and put a breakpoint to see if it gets triggered or not, because sometimes Eclipse, I don't know, sometimes it doesn't trigger. So let's try creating a booking instance. I'm not bothering much about on the data, I'm just dumping some numbers, and main focus is to create the custom code. You see that all the relevant fields are auto populated. So how it happened we discussed already in the, I think, part 3. Okay, or not part 3, I think part 4, because part 4 was the part where we started this unmanaged. We created all the VDM. So let's click on save button. Click the save button. Yes, so the breakpoint triggered. I'm feeling lucky. Okay, so if I just check this importing parameters, you say you have CID reference because this is behavioral context ID. Travel ID already there because we have already the travel instance. Something I have target, and it is having a CID because we are creating the booking instance now with the data provided. We have already provided the data. You see the travel ID here in the booking instance is not available. So somehow this mapping is missing, and booking ID is of course empty. That is our intention to create this time. And we have a control parameter, and that shows what are the things we have modified over the screen. Cool. So let's execute or finish it off. Of course, it will not be able to create anything. Let's see what it says. Again, execute. Okay. The request data was not found. That pretty much okay. I'm not worried about, because we have to write the coding now. So let's go back to the ABAP perspective. We are looping through on this, and first we have to do, we have to get the data. So let's go to my code snippet. What we'll do, we'll just take this travel ID from, so let's paste it, right? So I'm just copying it. Field symbol name was incorrect, so let's paste it. So this is the travel ID we have seen. We are just passing it to a variable and we need to now get the travel information, right? So first what we'll do, let's say step by step, what we are planning to do here will be extract travel data, correct, against travel ID, which we already have. After getting this travel instance, what we need to do, we need to basically get travel data along with booking. Because why I need booking, I'll explain. We have to find the highest booking number already available. Currently in this particular example, you don't have any booking instance, so by default it will be 0. But if you have any booking instance already and you are going to create a new one, so obviously we'll find some booking information. So I have to find the last booking ID, correct, because I need to add one over there as an addition, because we are not using any number range over in this particular POC or example. Once I get that one, then I'll just iterate through the booking information which is available through percent target, we have seen already, correct. And then we have to, in this each loop pass, we have to basically update travel information back to the structure. Means all the mapping of travel and booking should happen with a SAP existing function model I'll call to achieve it. And finally I will pass the information back to UI. How? Of course using mapped. Then booking, we already explained about mapped scope in the last discussion. If you are not aware of, just have a look on the previous discussion, it will be clear, I guess. So we have just achieved the travel ID, already extracted the travel information. So let's call a function and we'll be using flight travel read, correct. So this is the one I'm going to use. I'll pass this travel ID, and what I'm interested with the booking and of course with messaging. Okay, so now you see it's a function model, so I cannot use an inline data declaration. So let's declare something LT booking, right? And type, I'll see what is the type. Let's click on this function model, go and navigate to this. Booking is basically this booking T booking. Okay, copy it and paste it over here. So that is the booking type. Also I need a message, right? A message, and I'm telling like, and then the message, right? So let's now pass the booking and the message. Okay, fantastic. So our travel information we have already received along with any booking details. So now we have to find the last booking ID, but before that we have to just check the message, right? If there is any message part is initial or not. If there is any problem, then we cannot, and we have to do enter thing over here, end if, right? So that we have to do. First, we have to read the last booking ID. So for that, we have to check if this booking is at all available or not. Any available, then only you can find last booking ID. So right. So if this is not initial, so that is the first step that we have to check. What next? Of course, we have to get the data. So for that, I'm just taking one variable, calling it last booking ID. Okay, booking ID type. Of course, we can put something called demo booking ID. Sorry, demo booking ID, right? So that I'm taking, and I'm taking an initial value, let's say 0. Okay, from 0 we'll start the count. Copying it. Let's go to here and give something like you have to uh, add the number, but before that let's get the first or highest number. Let's pick up from. So for that we need to use lines, and obviously the same table, so that I know that how many counts are there in this table. Get that index, and of course the corresponding booking ID. Sorry, let's see. Yes, it's done. Booking ID have received. So after booking ID have received, what you have to do? Look at on this target. Because target is containing the booking information, and I'm just calling it something like LFS booking. Okay, only booking, because the previous one was already booking create. I think you are able to follow. Okay, so let's do something. What it is telling is not an internal table. Of course it is not. We have to put the target, which is an internal table, and then it will not create any problem. So once we have this, iterated through, in each iteration we have to pass the booking details. I mean the last calculated booking ID plus one that you have to generate. So for that, I'm taking one variable. I'm calling it as booking, because that is the data that we are need to, or structure a table rather, that we are going to update, right? So copying it, and you need to paste it over here. We are copying corresponding, but what exactly we need to deal with, will, let's say this one, and of course we have this booking, right? So this value we need to pass it 1, and okay, mapping from entity using control. We have already learned this syntax last time, so that we have mapped it, saving it. Fine. So after I have done this one, we have to do one more thing, and that is like call function flight travel update. Okay, so this is the one we need to, let's do that way. So we have travel and travel X both. So what we have to pass? The travel data. We have to pass basically this travel information. Let's go to this type, I think I can just, what you have to do, this travel demo travel, sorry, this demo is travel in, that you have to use it. I think I have already have a code ready. Instead of wasting much of time, let's copy paste it, so it will be faster, I guess. Yes, so that is the one I need to copy and paste it. Okay, so you will see like travel is that travel id, already we have achieved it. Travel x, this structure you have to use. Booking is basically the booking that we have it, but here one thing we have to do, ls booking, we have some booking id, right? Sorry, this booking id, and this booking id is equal to, we have to update the last record. So this last record, whatever we got, so this last record we have to update, so that is equal to 1, right? So that way it's increased one value, or one incremented by 1, and that we can assign it back over here, right? So by doing this, it is having the latest number I have generated, passing the sim value, booking id, and everything all good. So what next is, we have to pass it back to the update travel information. So this is what we are doing now, correct? This is what we are doing now, and then we have to pass this information back to UI. So that we'll do now. So let's go back. For that we have to do insert, right, value, and we have to input this into table mapping, sorry, mapped, and we have something called booking, right? So what we have to pass it now, we have to pass a few things. First is %cid, and that is actually we have achieved from this booking function model, sorry, the field symbol. Next we have to put travel id, this one, travel id, you have to pass the travel id from here. We can copy it, paste this travel id, and also you have to pass booking id, that we can take from here. Okay, so these are the things we are going to pass it back to our mapped structure, right? So we are done almost. What next we have to do, we have to activate the code. Okay, that's it, and we'll test now, see whether it's working or not. So one important thing before we test, and that is like this action code. Okay, this is quite important, because if you don't pass this action code, the function model will not update. So that is thing you have to pass along with the booking id that you have, that we have just received. Okay, so I have already activated it. So let's now reload this application once more, just to see, just to be sure. 12352, it's already timed out, so better to reactivate, or re-login rather. And let's search, and you have this data. Let's create, give a date, customer number, airline id, that's all. Clicking on save. Yeah, so it's again execute, the debug point reached, which is okay. F6, we can just update the travel. We have received the booking details. Of course booking should be empty, no data, so that means we are not calculating the last id. because by default it will be 0, which we declared above. We are just calculating the last booking. Of course it should be 1 now, correct? It's 001. Very good. Booking ID we are passing, and now we are updating the travel. And finally this CID is nothing but the context ID which I received from this function model. Okay, so you can get it from here. Booking CID is saddle CID 1, right? Travel ID same, booking ID same, so just we'll have to F6, and you can just check the booking ID contains what. It contains like this saddle and all. So execute, and I guess it is done. Voila, the booking is successfully created. Fantastic. So is this really created or not? Just double check. Of course it is now. Let's reload again. It's really persisted. Yes, it is, right? After refresh it's done. So that's the create part. So next should be the editing of this booking ID, right? Okay, so now next journey is updating the booking instance. So for that you have to open this behavioral pool related for booking, because in the travel you cannot do any update for the booking part. Only creation part from travel through association is possible only in this behavioral pool. But now we have to go to the another behavioral pool which we already created last time, specific for booking. So here we have this update method which you need to implement. I'll just make the channel a little bit fast and easy. So just copying this code, paste it over here, and I'll explain of course what I'm doing. So here for the booking update you have the importing parameter entities, correct? So the same entities I'm looping through, and this time I cannot use the control. Last time also I told using control will work, because here I'm just mapping from entity to a booking structure, right? It is booking. I will not use using control. Then what will happen, all the informations will not be updated over here. Only the pieces which I have modified, only that part will be coming, and your booking ID will be miss out, okay, in this particular structure. So that's why I'm not using it, using control syntax I'm not using. Similar like travel. Okay, so now booking ID I already have it. I have just passing to my x is basically control parameter. Here another internal it's a private basically parameter which is basically underscore intx. So that also you need to pass on, that you have to be careful about this particular travel booking example. Okay, so similar like mapping from entity I'm using. And last but not the least, which is an action code, and that you have to provide an update flag u, so that it can really update the content. What else? Of course you have to call the function model, to update the booking details. So I'm passing travel and travel x, only the ID, not the content, because content I'm not changing. Under booking instance I'm not changing the travel instance. Okay, and LT booking, of course I have to pass a record. It's basically new row I am creating. ABAP 7.4 language, new row under the of this type, T booking. And INX is of course the INX which I just collected over here, the same I'm passing. Quite straightforward. Syntax error because I didn't in the loop. So now it should be fine, I guess. Let's activate it, and that's pretty much good. Let's put a breakpoint, hopefully it will be triggered. Go there and click on edit. Let's say change the customer ID with something else, let's say 3, right? Click on save. Yeah, debug point reached, and it's coming to the update part. Entities you see it's having the thing CID reference, same approach or same symmetrical way its data is being populated. All the informations, booking date and customer number become 3. Rest, flight date, flight price, all 0, because that is not, I have changed it. Rather, control parameter, you see all empty, right? Except the customer ID. That's why I'm not using control. That syntax I'm not using. That is the reason I explained. So let's keep moving. I'm just intx, what that intx contains. Let's see, it's only the flag, customer ID, the same structure, intx, right? And I'm just passing only customer ID. The control parameter is just like a buppy. Okay. What else? Nothing. Just keep moving with the update. Any message? No message. Fantastic. So let's execute. What I'm expecting, customer ID will become 3. It is showing 3. Let's go back. Come again. Yes, it's really changed. Fantastic. So the edit part is complete. And so next part will be, of course, you can anticipate the delete. Let's move forward with the delete options. So now the delete part we have to go. So if you are enjoying this video, you just give a thumbs up, and we can just move forward with the next one. Okay. So for the delete, I have this code piece. Test it over here. It should be fine. So in the delete, we have the keys like the way we had for the travel. Flipping through the keys, we are using the function module update again. Only thing is, we have to pass the action code as delete, as you can see. The rest of the things pretty much same what we had in the last time for the edit part, right? The same piece of code. We are passing it, not this one. Yeah, so this update part we passed last time, right? So that one we are just updating it over here separately as an delete. Okay, so we can activate the code and put a quick breakpoint. I hope it's pretty simple, straightforward coding over here. Let's go and click on edit. What will happen? Yes, let's see. Unauthorized means I have logged out, possibly. Let's re-log in once. Yes, I logged out. I don't know why SAP is throwing me out every few minutes away from. So let's again delete it. Hopefully this time it will get stuck at the debugger. Yes, it is. The debug point is reached. We are deleting it with the debug, and what the things it returns only the keys. Keys contains the travel ID and the booking number. Okay, and of course the CID reference, which is not our interest this time. We'll be just looping through and update travel message part, anything, deletion, no message, execute. So my things should get deleted now, and yes, the travel, I mean the booking ID is successfully deleted. Okay, so good. Thanks for watching till this period. We have to move forward, a few more things to cover. Hope you stay you're staying focused on, and you will be continuing to the end of the journey. For this tutorial, I'll be trying to cover the set to booked action and certain pieces on the visibility, not the visibility, rather enabling and disabling of the button. As I said, like if it is already booked. So now I just told what I want to do next time is the set to booked. So I'll just want to make this status as booked, and the moment is set as status is booked, I would like to make this button disabled. Okay, and I don't know, maybe the video is getting lengthy enough, so let's try to focus fast to add the action to this button. So that is the step one, and if time permits and things are not quite lengthy, we'll try to cover this visibility part, because two important things. One is the header level, this button should be visible. And another important and nice feature would be, like, if the once I'm booking is complete, I'll not allow user to create any more booking records over here. So that means this create button will be also disabled. So that's pretty much is the next thing that I'm going to cover. So stay tuned and focused, okay? And subscribe my channel if you have not done yet. Okay, now we have to deal with it, the set to booked functionality. So before I mean to say, like, this button, right, we'll have to deal with it, how to attach a custom code to make sure this status I can change from new to a different status, let's say B. How to do that? Okay, so for that, first we need to understand how this button gets appeared, right? As you can recall, in the metadata extension of the travel, we added these annotations. Okay, so here is the annotations where you can see that it's a for action. So it's an action button that you are attaching, adding a method which is called set status underscore booked, and we are adding just a label, whatever label you want, we just add it over here in this annotations, and we are applying on the status field. Correct? So that is the thing we have done already in the last tutorial. And on top of it, we have to now do something on the behavioral definition, okay, of the travel. So in the behavioral definition, you see this particular line is quite important here. We are adding action featured instance, just park it for the time being. We are doing a set status booked, that is the method we already explained. Result 1, so it will be applied, this action button will be applied on the instance which is a single instance, okay, 1. So every single instance of the travel, that instance I will pick and I'll apply or call this method to set the status. So that is the, this construct actually talks about on that thing. I think it's clear now, except this part, featured instance. We'll discuss later on. Don't bother this time immediately. Okay, that's fair enough. So let's go to the code piece. So code is, of course, the travel, and you see there is an auto-generated code based on the overall setup. You see something called set status booked, right? So let's go inside this method and see what's there. It's an empty method. So let's copy the code. I have already written the code here. Okay, so let's copy this entire piece of code. I'm not writing the code just to save little time. It will be easy if I can explain what I'm doing. I think you can pretty well can understand what's going on. Okay, so I'm just looping through on the keys because this is the interface of the method. Then I'm just extracting the travel ID because that I need to update the travel. Okay, set booking, right? Against this travel ID, it will automatically set the status to booked. And then after the booking status is set, I'm just reading out the message, no message found. Then I'll again read out the travel information, everything what been committed to the database. And finally, I'm just passing this ls travel set status booked because this is something I have declared as a structure of result type, like line of result, because this is the result parameter. I have to fill the data back, pass the data back to the UI. So I'm just putting the travel ID, and this time I will be using a parameter because parameter will have the enter ls travel out, whatever the information I got out of this method or function module, better to say. So that value I'll just pass it on to the percentage param, and under this param I have to make sure the travel ID is filled in properly so that it can create a linkage. And in case there is a message appeared for some XYZ reason, let's say it's locked or some other problem, then I'm just reporting using a SAP delivered some demo travel auxiliary class to handle the travel message. And this time obviously I'll just failed travel and reported travel. Already I explained how this failed and reported works in the previous tutorial. So in case you want to have any doubt and question, you definitely comment. You can use the comment line of this tutorial, or maybe you can follow back, just look back in the previous tutorial to get to know what exactly it explained. I think that is that way you can easily aligned with what I'm just sharing. Pretty much simple. Of course, after this data been filled into the structure, I have to pass it back, append it to the result table so that it moves back to the UI. So let's activate the code, and hopefully the debugger should trigger in case I set the debug point, breakpoint. Let's go back and just do a refresh in case, because it will be just taken calling the overall thing. Yeah, that's what I was anticipating. SAP is not happy with me somehow. Every moment throws me out, which is okay, fine. Let's select it and go back with the set to book. But before doing this, let's try with our data 12352, because this is what we created. So let's do R&D on that particular instance. If I click on set to booked, what will happen? It's some problem. Okay, I don't know what's the problem. First of all, the debugger didn't catch. That is one major thing. Despite of logging, it doesn't show any data also. Pretty much confusing. Reload again. So I activate it. I think I have activated. Do again in case I have not yet. Active code generated. Looks okay, it seems. So what to be done now? Let's go back, search again, and this is the data. Sorry, the data is actually available. If I select and click on set to booked, giving it's booked. Okay, it's working, but the debug point didn't catch. Anyway, and one more thing I was telling, like I will change the this button to be as disabled, because it's already booked. So I am not supposed to allow user to click this button again and again, despite of this travel information is already set to B. So how to do that, that will be our next discussion. Okay, so now uh, to make this button disabled, what you have to do is, let's go to the code page, go to behavioral definition. I told that time just not to focus much on this particular piece, feature instance. Okay, so we are basically going to attach feature against that instance on the action item. Okay, so that's why this feature instance will be useful, right? So what will happen if this just put this feature instance capabilities? The difference will be it will generate a method in the travel behavioral pool class, right? It's a travel behavioral pool class, local implementation. You will find this get features is now generated. Okay, and it is for features, it tells. So it will just request, will be requested features will be enabled for, and the result sets will move into the result parameter. Okay, so that is a method that we need to implement. So let's go into this method. Let's put the code which I have already placed for you. So what I am doing, I'm using a special syntax called read entity. So read entity, I'm reading the entity which is a composite view, and that I am reading the travel ID and the travel status. These two things I'm reading, and whatever the keys, because this particular class is having a parameter called keys, like, so whatever the keys it's coming with rather into this method. So for all those keys, right, I'm reading this entity data, that, and I'm keeping it in a local internal table. So this is something a different way of reading entity. I think it's a good information, should be noted. And as I told, I have to move back the details to my result parameters. Okay, so if I do pretty print, still it is not working. Why? Window preference, ABAP development editors. So ABAP formatter, and yeah, keep camel case identifiers active. Okay, let's apply and close, apply and close, put F1, shift F1. Yes, now it's fine. So this result is now fine. Okay, so pretty print, how we can handle it in Eclipse Entity, I think that's also quickly covered. Come to the topic now. So this result table I have to fill in on the, I'll be doing a iteration on this table. So that's a for loop I'm running through or iterating through this table. It's a 7.4 kind of features, a new above syntax, simple way. And this result will have a key parameter. So this key I am getting it from my work area, ls travel, right? And also the feature, this is the important thing, feature action state status book. So that is the method. So that thing will be enabling or disabling is, that it's determined based on this conditional expression. So I'm setting it like when this status becomes B, I'm telling, hey, there is an interface called in if ABAP behavioral. So that is a interface which contains this constant value disabled. So if it's B, then I'm setting it disabled, else I'm setting it as enabled. Very simple piece of code, but enabling this feature. I think it's cool, right? Cool feature. And this expression, conditional way of getting every values together, it's also a capability that we can see. Okay, with higher version with the on-premise also you can get the same flavor, not a big deal, but yeah, just to point out, point to be noted, this is something, a conditional expressions we have used. We have used how to do a read entity with the data that we need for, right, and capturing into a table, specific table, local internal table, right, result data. So kind of a different syntax. Okay, I have activated. I keep forgetting things, I believe I have. Yes, so let's test it. So let's first reload the data and see what's, again I'm kicked out, so fine. So now it is not it is disabled by default. Let's select on this one. See, still it is disabled. Select in, now it is enabled. Makes sense, right? Beautiful. If I make it set to booked, oh, this time the debugger can. Okay, last time I don't know, debugger was angry. So anyway, so this time I think debugger is doing good. So debug message is nothing returning, I believe. Message is 0, so obviously updating. And because last time I couldn't debug, this time it's getting triggered. So let's take the benefit. So param, this param contains, so let's set status. So this status is having a few different information. Param is one of the part which is having a travel ID. See, I have a param as a travel ID, and the rest of the all fields that supposed to be mapped to. If I put F6, it fills with all the data along with the status. Perfect. And rest is very pretty much clear. If I execute, that status set to B, and the moment it B, the set to booked status been disabled. Fantastic. I think a lot of things we discussed right today. I hope you enjoyed. But one more thing is an assignment for you. Just try out. It's very simple. But yeah, you should have that appetite. That's the only thing is needed. And that point is, I told like the moment I said to B, I don't want user to create any more booking record. So we have to handle this create button enabling disabling property similar way. The thing we have done for the travel header, the similar way booking create and button has to be control. Okay, so very small thing as an assignment. I hope you'll enjoy if you really achieve it. At least I enjoyed. Okay, so this is so far for today. The next topic will be the drafting and locking mechanism on the unmanaged scenario, of course. I hope that will be also a good discussion. So stay tuned. And I'm planning to create a new discussion altogether about JavaScript for the specific for ABAPers as my target audience. I don't want to directly jump into UI5 development at this time. From my channel perspective, I would like to create kind of a ground about what this JavaScript programming language is and how it is easy to learn, in short duration, also with good command on. So that pretty much will be my intention to create a content on that. So let me know if you are all interested. So stay tuned, stay safe, and maybe we'll connect in the next discussion in episode, I believe, 7. Till then, take care and goodbye.